Hey guys, hope you're doing well. Coach Chadwin here. Hope you had a fantastic trade day. I thought I'll just jump on and give you sort of an impromptu video. I'm not going to give it too much thought. I'm really just going to speak off the top of my head. And I wanted to do a video for a long time about things that I wish I knew when I started trading. Let's get the elephant out of the room, as they say. Most services in the area of day trading seems to be scams. And I'm not saying everyone out there is not a successful trader. Obviously there are some, and that's not what I'm saying. What I'm actually trying to say is that most time it's regurgitated information. And so it's something that you can find anywhere, and yes, there is some value to having things structured, but at the same time, you really need to get into a mentor or mentor's frame of mind, frame of thinking if you want to be successful at that. You really have to have someone not hold your hand, but really show you the path and illuminate it. And so if you're signing up for something where it's either, let's say, just a subscription service, or perhaps it's just a self-service kind of a thing, you need to rethink it, because although we do believe in self-paced, we also believe in the human element, and that's absolutely needed. I'd say number two is that you have to learn from like-minded people. Now, I'm sure some people will come on and say, but that's absolutely not true, because they've learned from people that they are not alike at all, and I get that. But when you surround yourself with people who think like you and operate like you and have similar goals like you, you'll find that it's a lot easier to learn from them. So if you find that kind of thing, make sure that you grab it with both arms immediately and just say, you know what, this is what I want. Because to be associated with people who think like you and learn from them, that's priceless. Number three would be, I wish I treated trading as a business from the get-go. Now, I know this is a cliche to say, and if you've been in a trading firm long enough, you've probably heard that phrase, trading should be treated as a business. But I wish I took it seriously from the get-go. The reason I say that is that if you were developing a business or you were growing a business, you'd pay closer attention to what it costs you to do certain things and what you make by doing those things. And so one of the things that you'll find in trading is that oftentimes the reward seems so great that almost nobody pays attention to how much risk they are putting on. And they could have been successful long ago. The problem is that they had a tremendous imbalance in the sense that their reward was phenomenal if they got it, but their risk was poor. So people would often get into trades with much higher risk, assuming that the reward was guaranteed, and it isn't. Just as in business, you have to continuously develop your product or service. In trading, you have to continuously push your edge and make sure that the way you are trading fits your personality and fits the market conditions at the time, and thereby making you a successful trader. I wish I knew that it was a business. I wish, not that I knew, but rather that I treated it like that from the get-go. Number four, I'd say, is I wish from the get-go I didn't believe that there was a holy grail. Now, I didn't come into trading thinking I'm going to find a holy grail. But if you've been in trading for a while, quite often you start to get this idea that if I can just get the next thing, if I can just get the next concept, and then I'll have it, then I'll be able to do it. And so you constantly find yourself seeking for the next holy grail or the next thing that's going to be the thing that changes your trading completely. Now, let me give you a shocker. Almost every trade strategy out there works. Yes, trend lines do work. Yes, MACD does work. Yes, support and resistance. Yes, simple lines on a chart, they do work. Really, what separates a winning strategy from a losing strategy really has to do with your rules, your set of rules that you employ, and how you execute them. So what am I saying again? Yes, I wish I knew from the get-go, and I wish I really believed that there was no holy grail, and instead focused on my rules, my system, and my plan. Because if I did that earlier, then I'd be successful earlier, and I'd be further down the line earlier. I want to encourage you, stop chasing the holy grail. There isn't any. There isn't any. If anything, you are the holy grail. You are the person that will change things. It all starts in the mind. If I had to choose another thing, I would say that in terms of trading style, in terms of whether you are intraday, whether you are a swing trader, whether you are a scalper, I wish from the get-go I knew that one size does not fit all. I think oftentimes people learn or they get taught by a mentor, and their desire naturally is to emulate that mentor, but that's not always the best thing, because trading will really expose your psychology, and thereby you need to understand who you are as a trader. For some, getting in on a 1 minute or a lower time frame is perfectly easy and okay, but for others it just makes them unprofitable because it damages their mindset or damages how they feel at the time of taking the trade or after losing or winning a trade. There is no one size fits all. You might be a swing trader, you might be an intraday trader, or you might be a scalper. But you're going to have to find that out by trial and error, and also, and this is often not spoken about, but you're going to have to assess how you feel when trading within the parameters of each of those trading styles. The one that makes you happiest and makes it easier for you to enter the trade and makes it simple for you to get out of a trade, that's usually the one you have to choose. I wish I knew that backtesting would make me better at trading much quicker. I wish that when I started out trading, I spent less time trading, but actually reviewing the daily moves on the charts and doing backtesting. I remember a time when all I did was wake up the next day and trade. And once I've lost a trade or won a trade, that would be it. That would be the extent of my learning after I thought perhaps at that point in time that I have arrived. Funny thing is, as my skill increased, so did my backtesting also. And thereby, by implication, my skills just got better and better. What is backtesting? Some of you might be asking. It's going over your charts, simply put, going over your charts, past historical data, and using that to influence your mind in terms of patterns and understanding of how order flow appears. So I wish I did backtesting earlier. I wish I knew that trading was more mindset than it was actually skill. And don't get me wrong, it is certainly skill, and the skill does not come easy. However, I wish I knew that it had more to do with my psychology than it had to do with my ability to read a chart. Let me tell you why. It doesn't matter if I've got the market direction right and I've got my entry correct. If I'm not able to manage my emotions when getting into a trade or exiting a trade or possibly taking a loss or possibly taking a win, I've set myself up for failure. I wish I knew that this was a mind game before it was a skill game. And above all else, the true elephant in the room. I wish I knew from the get-go that trading will require a lot of work. Now let me say this, trading in itself is easy. Understanding the skill and getting to know how to do a specific trading style takes time, But once you get to know it and you understand it, it becomes second nature and becomes easier. But getting there is a process. It takes time. So with our students, what we do is we set expectations from the get-go. Now, again, like I said about your trading style, this is not a one-size-fits-all thing. Because you find that some people, they learn so quickly and it just comes natural. And then others, like myself, it took very long to get the skill. I think what really separates people is whether or not they have the perseverance to continue and to push on and to keep pushing. Because we have the saying, trading is not for everyone. I personally believe, though, that it can be for everyone if they push long enough. It's the kind of skill that if you gave it time and diligence, it will produce a result. I find it so interesting that people would study years to become a doctor, study years to become a lawyer. And oftentimes, no disrespect to doctors and lawyers, not at all. But oftentimes, traders will make much more in a day than some of those professions will do in a month or do even in a year. Why am I saying that though? Because someone will give years to a profession that will no doubt make them pretty wealthy, but they're not prepared to give weeks to a skill that might exceed the kind of wealth that you can get by studying for many, many years. I wish more people, including myself when I started, knew that the hard work will pay off. And that if I continued pushing, I'd see results. Now, some of you might be thinking, I wonder if he's saying that he makes that much. That's not important. And the answer is probably no. But what I'm trying to say to you, though, is, doesn't it make sense that if this great equalizer that we call day trading can free your family and really just change your life, doesn't it make sense that you should also be willing to give it years of your life? So I wish, above all else, I wish it for myself and I wish it for you. I wish that you would know that if you put in the time and you put in the hard work, the results will come. I want to encourage all our Kingdom Day Trader students. There's quite a bit of you right now. I want to encourage you all. Stick with the plan. Stick with the process. And if you have not yet joined us and you're thinking about it, I want to encourage you that we are the kind of people, and this is how you can find out. Remember in the beginning I said, you have to join like-minded people. Let me tell you what we are about. We are about helping people. We are about changing lives. We are about making God's name great. And we are about serving people to the best of our ability. And if you're the kind of person who feels that if you could get the skill, you'd go out and make so much more impact, then that's the kind of people we are. And we assess all our students in that same way. So if you wanted to join a community where some of the things I just wished, where some of the things I just hoped for is already becoming a reality, then join us, Kingdom Day Traders. And if you do not decide to join today, then as a minimum, do me this favor. Like, comment, and subscribe. And as all our students know, there's this phrase we say, and if you're watching this and you're a student, I'm sure you know what I'm saying. Let's do it together now. Mindset, multiplication, and management. Stay blessed.